Okay. Every Wednesday morning before the busyness of the day begins, I make myself a cup of tea. I settle into my favorite chair. I open my laptop and I wait for a familiar face to appear. And nearly 8,000 kilometers away, another cup of tea is often waiting, another smile appears, and for the next hour, two teachers living in two different countries simply talk. Sometimes we talk about education, sometimes our families, books, gardens, food, life. Sometimes we laugh, sometimes we sit quietly with difficult conversations. That hour has become one of my favorite hours every week. Not because we're solving the world's problems, but because for 60 minutes, the world feels just a little smaller. Welcome to Shine a Light On. I'm Joanna Vervat, and today's episode is called 1 Hour Every Wednesday. It's the story of an unexpected friendship between two teachers living in different worlds who discovered they had much more in common than they ever imagined. My guest today is my friend, Nataliia Skrynik. Nataliia, welcome. It's wonderful to have you here.
Hello, Jana. Nice to see you today. Thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure. Before we talk about life in Ukraine today, Nataliia, I'd love everyone listening to get to know you a little bit better. So, my first question is, what first inspired you to become a teacher?
Oh, I decided to become a teacher, when I was 16. It was just my dream. Maybe because I had a very good teacher at school when I was studying. It was my favorite teacher. She inspired me every single lesson. She was not only good teacher, she was wonderful person, and she is. So she usually
Yes,
is glad to see us. She taught us a lot, not about her subject, but also about life.
that's
So
wonderful.
that's why I thought, yeah, this profession is super. And maybe just because of this teacher, I would like
Amazing.
to become the same.
It's amazing how women can inspire women. And now, knowing you the way I do, I know that you are also inspiring many of your students. But anyway, you spent several years teaching both in the public and private schools before deciding to open up your own English studio. That's a big step. What made you decide it was time to create something different?
Maybe I grew from this because I loved this school, the private school where I worked before. It
Okay.
was really nice school, but maybe I had a little bit different point of view how to teach. I had a lot of experience. I would like to start something that is just for me as from my point of view. Also, I worked in a state school in my city. It's also a big and really nice school with a lot of great teachers. But still, it was hard for me because simultaneously I worked already in this state school and I started my own studio. And that's why I worked from the early morning. Then I went to my studio and have some lessons. It was really so hard to be such busy, not having
Imagine.
time for my family, and I decided that I should change something, and I have chosen my studio
Yeah,
because really
absolutely.
I am responsible for my students already, and I couldn't leave them, and I love them with all my heart.
I can
So
see the
that's
passion
why,
that you're spreading
yeah.
there. And I admire that about you and the joy that you bring to your teaching. Can you tell us a little bit more about your studio?
Oh, I have got students starting from 5 years. They are finishing kindergarten and then they will be the first grade students the next year.
Sweet.
And also, I have the students from the primary school, from the high school, middle age of this school. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and
Quite
they
a
are
range
so
of
different.
ages. Quite a range of ages that
Yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah,
teaching
yeah.
there,
You're completely
Natalia.
right.
So, what do you hope that your students feel when they walk through the door of your studio?
Oh, I would like them to feel confidence and
Okay.
they should be sure that this place is some place where they feel themselves safe, where no one will judge them for their point of view. It's the most important thing for me, for them to feel this respect, especially for my teenagers. I never tell my students that they are not right in any points of view.
Hmm.
Of course, if it's not grammar or some vocabulary, but still, if they discuss some topics, I never say, "Oh, you're not right here. I don't think so." I respect all of them because they are not like kids for me. They are people.
Yes.
So,
And
and I
everyone has the
respect them
right to
as
have their own opinion, is what you're
yeah,
saying.
right.
Right?
It's so important for me, and they trust this situation. I love the situation when they have friendship here in these groups. They
Mhm.
share their emotions, their feelings with each other, not only the teacher.
Yes.
So that's why it's so important for me.
Lovely. Why do you think that English is important for young Ukrainians today?
When it was my childhood, it wasn't so popular in Ukraine, and maybe we didn't travel as much as people do right now. But now Ukrainians travel a lot, and it's not only because of the war. Of course, now Ukrainians live in all of the countries, I
Sure.
think, but still, even before the war, and if not to pay attention to COVID time,
Mhm.
yeah, we traveled. And of course, English is something that will help you in any corner of the world. So
Absolutely.
that's why a lot of parents who are my age, a little bit older, want their children to know English because some people of my age and a little bit older, they don't speak English so fluently, so well, and they really want for their children to study abroad because they
Yes.
can choose any university either in Ukraine or in some other country. It's quite possible, and really, and also it's good for every person to understand other people's opinions, speaking.
Absolutely.
So it's really so popular. We've got a lot of studios like I have. So, and that's why, yeah.
What do you hope that your students take away from your classes besides learning English?
Oh, I want them to take some warm feelings
Mhm.
because we meet twice or three times a week, and we are like, a small family. Sometimes we don't see our relatives so often as we see each other. So
I love
we
that.
love all of our students, and I like this situation where my students have really great friendship with
Yes.
other classmates, group mates. So that's why I want them to remember that English, it's not just about learning, it's about having fun, it's about going into the cinema together, it's some warm discussions, it's maybe some cool games like Mafia we usually play, we discuss something. So it's not hard, it's not boring.
Yeah.
And this time can bring them some warm feeling and this childhood and respect.
And I can see that on your face, and I know you're making that connection with your students, with the children, and they're making it amongst themselves. So, Natalia, this is the part of the story that many of us, me included, can hardly imagine. For most of us, war exists on television. For you, it's every day, it's part of your life. How has teaching changed over these past years?
Uh, the teaching started to change, when COVID appeared,
Okay.
because before we didn't have online still.
No. Okay.
And yeah, when COVID started, we taught and we started through online Zoom, but unfortunately, we were not ready to these.
Hmm.
We didn't have a lot of platforms. We were studying with our students we how to use all of these technologies,
So new.
and they were really studying how to use them also and studying
Yes.
our subjects. It was really the first step. When the war started, it was really hard emotionally because the first two maybe weeks, if I'm not mistaken, we didn't have lessons because
Okay. Right.
some of the people were driving away from Ukraine to Poland, maybe Moldova or somewhere else.
Right.
It was really hard time, but just 2 weeks, and I wrote for my students whether they would like to continue through Zoom, and they told, it seems to be it was like 100%. They told, yes, we are ready. It
Oh,
was really hard because we studied, paid attention to these air flight alerts. So we switched off our laptops, ran into the shelters, then came back, and one more challenge appeared because starting from September or October, the first year of the war, blackouts appeared. Oh my God, it was really
oh,
awful
Natalia.
because
Can't imagine.
alerts, blackouts for
Right.
1 or 2 hours. We didn't have electricity, then 2 hours we had these. And in every part of the city, it was different.
Right.
And we should decide how to do it. It was really so hard.
I can imagine.
But we've done this, and now I think we became stronger.
I believe
And
that.
yeah, and I say my students that we can cope with everything.
I believe
We
you.
can survive everywhere. So
Yes. If we can
no
get
matter
through
what will
this.
happen.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So your students have lived through experiences that no child should ever have to face. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So how do you make them feel safe or hopeful or keep them wanting to learn and study?
Maybe it was also the time when we have this gamification on our lessons. So maybe it was the chance to them not to think about this war, about this situation. So we just helped each other. Of
Wow.
course, we discuss a lot of things. Sometimes it can be the alert and something dangerous, and they are scared.
Yes.
So we speak with them, we hug together, we discuss this situation. One day, it was attack on us, and I had online lesson with my students because I decided not to go to the studio,
Okay.
and they were small students. I heard this noise, but I didn't know whether they hear the same because these are two
Oh,
different parts of
okay.
the city.
Oh
And
my
it
goodness.
was, a hard question to ask them or not to ask them, to frighten them or not to frighten, and or looking at their eyes, and they were sitting like, uh, yeah, just
Oh my
sitting and
goodness.
looking at me. I asked, guys, do you hear the same? And they told, yeah, 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 we're here. So I told, switch it off, please, and go to the shelter. Then I will write and wait for you. So, our students are already so adult. I mean, they are still small, but they are adult. They understand everything.
Amazing.
So, unfortunately, they lose this childhood, I think, for themselves, because they should understand a lot of things which they should never see with their eyes, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah, I can't imagine that. I think having someone like you around them and their families talking about these things, giving not only lessons about school and English, but love and hugs and being together and sharing that moment that, yes, we are together and we will get through this. So, as teachers, we always hope to teach our children every day. But I'm curious, Nataliia, what have your students taught you?
Maybe it's to be patient.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I have got different age categories of the students. Yeah,
Okay, I hear you.
teenagers. People usually think that it's really hard to communicate with teenagers, but I love all of my teenagers. They
Oh,
are
that's
so
good.
amazing people. Also, these young age students, oh my God, they are so cute.
Yeah,
They bring you a lot of jokes, a lot of things that you smile every time. You
nice.
can be tired, you can be busy, you can have different thoughts, but when you come into this classroom, see their smiles, they hug you every time. So, yeah, they
Lots of
taught
love
me to
going
be
on in that
patient, to
studio.
love. Even if you are sad, so
Nice.
yeah, I
Nice. I
love
love
them.
that. No, very nice. I can hear that. When difficult days come, Nataliia, where does your hope come from?
Oh, for the people, first days it was really hard because we didn't know what to expect.
Right.
But then, when we saw our neighbors, when we communicated with some people from the same territory, and we decided to protect ourselves, it was really inspiring. We started building these things which could help us to protect our territory.
Okay.
We were cooking for our defenders and so
Right.
on, volunteering, and it was really great. It inspired us
Okay.
and it helped us to survive because before this one day, it was really hard because we didn't know what to expect.
Right.
But then we gathered together and it helped us.
I can understand that.
People inspired people. So.
Yeah, it's so true. Actually, that is so true. Well said, Natalia. Around the world, many people know Ukraine only through news reports. What do you wish that people understood about everyday life that we rarely hear?
Oh, I would like people to know Ukraine not only because of the war. Our
Right.
country is really beautiful.
Hmm.
It's really rich. I mean, not only about money, but we have got so beautiful nature.
You
We've
told me
got
that in
a
the very
lot of
beginning.
beautiful cities with ancient architecture, modern architecture. Our capital city is so big, modern, and cool. We've got the sea and the cities around the sea. Oh my God, it's wonderful. Mountains, so people. We have everything to live well. Of course, I hope that the war will stop one day, and I hope it will be very soon. And all
Me too.
people will enjoy their life here. And I want other people to come to Ukraine because you really hear about our country only through the news. And unfortunately, someone before the war started even didn't know where Ukraine is,
Yes,
what does it
that is so
mean.
true. Hmm.
Yeah,
That
but
is so
our
true.
people are brave and great, I think. And I want everyone to
To know
come
that.
and see not only this ruined territory, yeah, but
Right.
also beautiful country.
With beautiful people living there. So, Natalia, what do you hope your students remember about you years from now?
The teachers aren't so strict, but also not so kind, and they can demand something from you. I mean, some knowledge, doing homework, but also that the teacher is someone who will support you when you need some support, who will be like a role model for you, not only being a perfect person, no, just to be a person.
Oh, how lovely is that? What a good role model that is to show students. So, Natalia, you and I met because of ENGin. And it's amazing to think that one simple volunteer match led to such a meaningful friendship. So, if someone listening today was thinking about volunteering, what would you say to them?
Oh, thanks God, thanks fortune. I met my friend from Canada. She's a wonderful teacher. And every um, Wednesday, yeah, we meet usually on Wednesday.
Yes.
I really wait for our meeting because it's really nice talk. It's some warm feelings. It's something that we can share with you. It's so cute, so great
Thank you.
because you can share your life experience, your knowledge. We discuss a lot of differences between culture, the same things about our cultures, and it's really great time. I'm so thankful for this program, for you, Diana, that you took part volunteering and I met you in my life.
Oh,
That's really
thank you. I
great.
feel the same way. I get so much out of it. Would you recommend this to others, Natalia?
Yeah,
Mhm.
one day I was asked to recommend something where the students can have like a small talk or just talks with volunteers, with people who speak English very well from English countries. And I thought I gave some links to these programs. I told, wow, I totally recommend this. It's really amazing.
Nice. So, after all of our Wednesdays together, what do you think we've learned from each other?
Oh, I think we learned a lot. We've learned about our cultures,
Mhm.
about maybe different accents. I asked you whether you understand my English. I was afraid at the beginning, so I thought maybe something goes wrong, but you inspired me. You ensured me that everything is okay. People from different countries have different accents. And
Absolutely.
that was really great. You gave me this self-confidence. And now I don't afraid anything. So I've learned a lot of things. I broadened my vocabulary
Mhm.
because we learned with you a lot of phrasal verbs and
Yes.
other things, slang and so
I've
on.
learned a lot going through this with you too. It's been fun, and it's fun to learn.
Yeah.
And you show me how you can have fun, you can learn something, and I see how you apply it. And I think that's just so wonderful. So, Natalia, thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for inviting us into your classroom, into your country, into your life. Your story reminds us that education simply isn't about only teaching a language, it's about creating hope, building confidence, believing in tomorrow. And thank you for your friendship. It's enriched my life in ways I never expected.
Thank you,
So,
Joanna.
you're welcome. So, now to our listeners. If today's conversation has inspired you, I'd encourage you to learn more about ENGin. You don't have to be a teacher to become a volunteer. You simply need a willingness to spend 1 hour each week in conversation with someone who wants to learn. And you may discover, as I did, that you receive every bit as much as you give. You'll find all the links in today's episode description. Every Wednesday, Natalia and I still meet, and we still laugh and we still learn. And every week, I'm reminded that while war can divide countries, conversation still has the power to bring people together. 1 hour, one conversation, one friendship, and sometimes that's enough to change the way that we see the world. I'm Joanna Vervat. Thank you for listening to Shine a Light On. Until next time, keep shining a light on the remarkable people whose quiet courage makes our world a brighter place. Thanks, Natalia.
Thanks, Joanna.